The fingerprints on your screen look like an entire landscape.
Shh, be quiet.
Well, you're not going to want to use this audio.
Shh. Starting.
And we're live.
Hey, I'm Kyle. I'm Kyle Murphy, and this is Carr.
I'm Carr. Welcome to the weekly edition of PBS. We have a lot of letters going on. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
We're just fucking with you. I'm Nick.
My name is Matt. First and foremost, all of you beautiful people on the internet, thanks for tuning in. All of the ridiculously good-looking people in the room, cheers to you. Thanks for being exactly who you are and doing exactly what you do.
We got Mr. Rogers over here. So real talk. You're the most positive guy I've ever met.
Oh, I exude optimism.
What makes you so positive?
Oh, I tried the opposite.
What makes you bullish on life?
Oh, I tried the opposite. It totally sucks, man. Like being down and out and like being a pessimist is so draining. Everything is never quite right. Nothing's ever quite perfect. All of a sudden, whine and gripe and moan. And like, yeah, it's so easy to do. But if you switch it around, like train that muscle for like, happiness and progress and excitement and practice and all the other things that are the exact opposite view of that coin, so simple. So what am I excited about?
All right, now what makes you bullish on Bitcoin?
Oh, there's only 21 million. Like, I'm really excited about that. I think people miss that that's like critically important. Like, we invented digital scarcity, like the first time ever. That's something. So now,
About voltage.
oh yeah, we have some sponsors to shill. You know who keeps 21 million hard cap working for you and for me? Voltage. Is that a fair statement? I'm not actually sure they do, but I'm pretty sure that they do.
Yeah, and there's amazing applications built by Plebs here, like Topher built sats for tips on top of voltage. We had Ellen Uptime built on voltage. I think the Bitcoin company runs on voltage.
Excellent.
And I have not played with voltage yet, so I feel like I need to download an instance as a developer just to learn. LN bits on voltage now, right? Topher? No? Yes, it is.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I think it does LN bits run on voltage, which it does not. But
It's already on voltage. We got Super back there talking smack.
It's okay. I'm non-technical. Voltage is making it easier for people like me to do things like all of the very smart people in the room. Point, click, bang, bang. Voltage will solve your problem. Unless you want to make more than 21 million Bitcoin. They will not solve that problem. Good luck.
Voltage, use it. It's awesome.
Do we have any other sponsors, Logan?
The
Excellent.
only sponsor. And Paul. To future Paul. Paul's the man. I just listened to his podcast.
Excellent.
So I guess, should we talk about that? Why is everybody gone? Why is nobody in Austin this week except for, well, we got a couple people.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. The important folks came.
They're traitors. They got afraid of the heat. We had what was the heat? I think it got up to 109, I think.
Oh, it's pretty
Sunday.
spicy. And it is humid. I'm not from this part of the world, and man, it's sticky. My pits get sweaty inside my house. I turn on the AC on a frequent basis now. It's not something I'm used to. It's okay. We can adapt.
But anyways, yeah, so everybody, pretty much Kyle, Carr, the whole crew, they all went up to Nashville to go to Bitcoin Park, which is kind of a sister community to Bitcoin Commons in Austin. So I haven't been following it super closely, but there's been a lot of really good podcasts coming out this week.
Yeah.
So
sure.
Odell's Citadel Dispatch, if anyone watches it, I highly recommend all of the Tony Giorgio shows. He's a local guy in Austin, so he's got local legend. He's got some good stuff. They talk about his PLN wallet, private Lightning wallet that he started at the hackathon, actually. You remember that project at the hackathon?
He was very focused on don't add footgun features. I'm the guy that actually needs that, so thanks for building stuff for me, Tony. And the rest of the world is technical enough, but still has no idea what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, it was cool because he was talking about how it's a privacy-first wallet. And first off, it's a send-only wallet because receives basically dox yourself. So it's interesting that they're making it easy for the average pleb who doesn't know this stuff. And also there's interesting features he was talking about on the podcast where if you were trying to, I believe, send to somebody that wasn't multiple hops away. So the more hops you have between you and a peer on Lightning sending, the more privacy you get. But if there's only 0 or 1 hops, it's not super private. So they have, I think, security features in the PLN wallet where if you're trying to send some like a direct partner one away, it flags it saying, hey, do you really want to dox your identity? Like this is could potentially be insecure.
One of the things I really appreciate about Tony is he helped, in my mind, or at least in my sphere, popularize the idea that private channels are actually not private, and we should call them unannounced channels, because he showed me that he was out there
probing. Yeah, he probed everybody.
He was Google dorking, but not with Google, solving all of these things and said, hey guys, they're not private. Look, this is a big deal.
And he goes in depth in the podcast about why they're not private and, you know, what is going to fix it.
Switching the nomenclature around to call it what it actually is, unannounced versus private. Private says, oh, I can do anything, no one's looking. Wait a minute, the correct words are very important.
Yeah, so highly recommend that podcast. What else are they doing? Have you been following what they've been doing in Nashville?
No, but I did see some of the logos before they picked a logo, and man, they got some banger ideas out there.
Well, did your brother make any logos for him?
He did.
He did? Oh, nice. His brother's a graphic designer.
He makes
right?
art for a living.
If anyone needs any art, talk to Matt's brother.
We'll do it. What else? Yeah, they just got the same setup as here. They got a big space, a bunch of cool people that like Bitcoin, and then they go make magic happen, both for the highly technical side, for the circular economy, for the co-working spaces, for the meetings, the ideas, the sharing, all the parts and pieces that, hey, if we're going to go rebuild the future, are necessary, and you can't really do everything only in the internet. Getting together in real life is wildly important.
IRL, I heard the Wi-Fi password is the same as here. Is what the word on the street. So if you
Thank
just
goodness
show
for
up,
making it consistent everywhere. I appreciate that.
You already know how to get on. So they're encouraging us to travel back and forth between Nashville and Austin. We're gonna build our little federations, and we're gonna connect.
We're gonna trade beef. We're gonna trade Bitcoin. We're gonna trade spare bedrooms. It's gonna be a beautiful thing.
Yeah, starting
just
our
a lot
own.
of alliterations with bees.
What'd you say, Super? All right. So what else is going around in Austin? Should we talk about our new thing we're doing, the Bitcoin brotilla?
Yeah.
Should we show that?
Absolutely.
So basically, we have kind of this new, I don't know, what should we call it, like a Bitcoin social event?
Hey,
maybe?
we see the same people all the time, because guess what? There's only so many people that want to talk about Bitcoin 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that are available to come to all the meetups. So, in an effort to go do some community outreach, if you will,
not even that, just to go have fun out in the sun.
That we should be in the sun, getting that vitamin D.
We need the vitamin D.
In the river, because it's really hot and sweaty, with a bunch of other ridiculously good-looking people.
Simon's in the house.
So this Saturday, you can find us at the Austin Brotilla. This is a flotilla. This is a brotilla. This is a get out in the sunshine, see some beautiful people.
Well, first let's define what a brotilla is, because I don't think everyone knows. So there's basically an article online, and it's actually like an Urban Dictionary term. So if you go to Google and type in brotilla, B-R-O-tilla, you'll get a Reddit article that pops up, and it's literally a place in Austin where the Barton Springs meets the Colorado River, and that's where everybody hangs out on their pedal boards. You know, it's
a little bit of a misnomer, because about 20 to 50 feet off the shore, there's a giant sandbar. So you can be, I don't know, maybe up to your hip bones, maybe your belly button at the deepest part.
It's like the equivalent to like Austin's beach. We don't have a beach, but like if I were to say like,
how many people do you think were there?
Oh man, probably a couple hundred.
I would say 200 to 300, no problem.
200 to 300, and it was chill. It wasn't like, it's called brotilla, but it's not like bro-y at all. It's very normal. We met actually some really cool people, like I think a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and it was funny because we started talking about music first, and then we pretty much started talking about Bitcoin, and he knew what the term Bitcoin.
Imagine that.
He knew what the term Bitcoin maximalist was, like a very normal dude at brotilla, you know, in the water. We're drinking beers together, talking Bitcoin with like some randos, and it was kind of
Open
good.
community invite. Come hang out. We're meeting up Saturday at noon. Bring your hardware wallets. We're happy to help you have a boating accident. If you haven't done that yet, we are here to hold your hand and make it all work.
Every Saturday at noon, I think we're gonna try to just make it so you just show up. We have a Telegram group. We'll like ping the link out to everybody in the Austin, keep Austin weird pleb group or whatever that is.
There may or may not be a DJ there.
Yeah, and there's a DJ that shows up sometimes.
Super impressive. He's got a kayak and he sets up on a cooler, so he's sitting on a cooler. He's got speakers and stacks, and all of a sudden, like, he's just gonna rip it for you, right in the middle of the water, all battery powered, everything you ever did want to hear. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of country, and a lot of people bring these like soda can sized speakers and play pop country music.
You
for
hate
stadium
hate
rock.
country.
If I hear one more time about trucks, girls, beer, I just don't. Just stop. This is not a genre of music I enjoy. Yeah,
The
okay.
guitar.
So like all the people
Matt only
that
listens
show
to
up and do
death
this-
metal when he's out on the beach.
Yeah,
Only death
I'm
metal.
more of a Lamb of God kind of guy. The haircut and the comb over don't really show up, but like really when I get down, that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
happens at my house.
I'm more of a Dying Fetus fan myself.
Ooh, okay.
It's not PC, bro.
Running a modem over here.
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh,
nice.
my man.
All right, name out some metal bands. All right, we're all metalheads here. Logan, you got one? Judas, okay, little softer, but
Hey, wait a minute. That guy started walking around with like a straight razor on his neck. Like, you
Okay,
gotta give the
that's
man
pretty
props.
hardcore.
Like you sneeze and you die.
But anyways, the specific location of Brotilla, if you Google it on the maps, it's Louneff Point. That's Louneff Point. And you can pretty much just park at Barton Springs.
You're
you
gonna
know.
see it. There's gonna be 200 people in the middle of a river.
Yeah,
It's pretty hard to miss.
So some more information how to get there. I know Topher parked at the, what do you call it, the sand gravel pit?
Yeah, the gravel pit.
The gravel pit's, I think, free parking, right?
It's free.
Free parking. It's over kind of by the Mopac 1 highway. And then it's just a short walk.
It's parking. It's definitely free.
Yeah.
Definitely free.
Or you can be like me and Matt and just ride your bike. Or fall
Yeah, be
while
safe
riding your
out
bike. But anyways, the origin of the whole Brotilla was last weekend. It was basically just me, Topher, and Matt.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's go
Kicked
check
off
it
and
out.
said like, hey man, like this is a good to do. Let's go make sure that to do stays as a to do for other people.
And I always thought you had to have a paddle board to do it because you see just a flood of paddle boards, but you don't. Like you don't even. You brought
The
floaties
paddleboard is
from
mostly
Walmart.
the SUV for all of your belongings.
Yeah,
they want a
it's a
cooler, they
table.
want a speaker, they got to put the sunscreen somewhere. Guys, you're going 20 feet from the shore.
Yeah,
Like,
literally.
You can hold your breath and go there and back. It's
And
not
there's
like
no
you're going that
seaweed.
far.
It's not like nasty seaweed. Like it's clean water. Like. and
Hey,
it-
you can see to the bottom. You're standing on small rocks and sand. Don't bring glass. Cool.
Yeah, and I don't even think I'm gonna bring a floaty next time because it was kind of annoying. The floaty kept on floating off. I just stood there. I think basically Topher is building an umbrella. So if you're worried about if you're worried about getting sunburned, some of us are. Yeah, we're pasty white developers and basement dwellers here. So yeah, if you're afraid of getting sunburned, too many. Yeah, if you've been seed oil binging, like we'll have an umbrella so you won't get burned.
So they gave us a list of topics. Do you want to do it?
I mean, a lot of that was just stuff we made up.
Oh, excellent.
Oh yeah, let's do a recap.
Let's do a Lit Devs recap.
Lit Devs recap.
Guys, I'm not a developer.
Lit Devs with
I want to
lit.
give you my thoughts on the matter. 1, you should come. 2, it's still valuable to come to things that you don't understand because they're going to increase your knowledge while you're there. So some of the
And you're
big-
not a developer, and you came
Yeah.
last time, and you got a lot of value
Yeah,
out of
I'm
it,
not.
right?
I'm not. I don't write code. I care about the asset and I care about how to explain it to people. So I'm trying to upgrade my gray matter because one day it may matter. So with that thought, at this last one, there was a gentleman that gave a presentation, and he, at the tail end of his presentation, he talked about the importance of redundancy in your hardware. So for all you folks running home nodes out there, your home node is significantly less likely to withstand a lot of things. How many times you can read and write to your flash, how much compute power is on it, the Linux core kernel, something or other. I don't really know all this stuff. However, he had a great advice. Go get a ThinkPad laptop. That way you can keep getting updates and you get professional grade hardware, not
Yeah.
hobbyist toy hardware.
And I think a lot of the Raspberry Pis, they're just sold out right now. But you can go to. He actually recommended just going to eBay and getting a $200 ThinkPad
Yeah,
because a
he
lot
was-
of times, like
he was
big,
pulling up $200 ones.
yeah, with the second hard. Because a lot of times these big companies, they have like 50,000 ThinkPads at these corporations, and then they do a refresh at their company. So then they end up usually on eBay for super duper cheap.
The reason to go to eBay is if you go to eBay, you can buy, I think, a $10 1-year warranty for your machine. That's pretty stinking impressive.
Yeah, through what was it? Allstate or somebody that?
Someone else is
Yeah,
covering
somebody
it. So
insured
like, yo,
it.
You buy a $200 note and
Square
it works,
trade?
you're good.
But it was interesting because the guy who did a presentation was Warren, and he works at Blockstream. But the interesting tidbit about him is he is literally the guy who founded Fedora Linux. If people out there know Linux distributions, it is basically the sister distribution of like Red Hat Enterprise Linux. But he's actually, if you go to the Wikipedia page and look at Fedora, Warren is the guy who like started it. So he's also works at Blockstream.
So come, you could meet cool people.
Yeah, he's very cool, and he did a presentation on PeerSwap, which is, you know, probably a pleb. You're probably not going to have to use PeerSwap unless you're maybe running a routing node. But if you're a big merchant or something, you know, eventually you're going to probably run out of
My take
liquidity.
was totally different. I want the autopilot button. Connect to Lightning, manage my channels. Someone do it for me because I've got a smooth brain. Warren built that thing as part of a toolkit to help that autopilot button happen.
Yeah.
Now, we're not there to the autopilot yet, but the tech
Well,
is progressing
some
so that we're
distributions
going to
are.
get closer and closer to someone like me that says, hey, you, computer, manage my channels. You're going to be better at it for me.
Yeah.
It's another tool in the tool chest of how to rebalance. Is that
So,
fair?
yeah, so L&D has, they used to have autopilot, which didn't work very good for a lot of people. But if you, let's say, for instance, you have a bunch of channels already opened.
Yep.
Eventually, you're going to get out of balance between your channels. So they actually have like an auto loop is one of their things. You got to pay a small fee for it. But it's a way, once you already have your channels open, for it to basically auto rebalance, depending on what you want to be. Do you want to be a merchant node? Do you want to be a routing node? Or just a normal person that wants 50-50 balanced channels? So some of the automation is there, and they have, I know
Hey,
they're
it's
shilling it pretty hard. Lightning.
Getting better every day, and all the
Yeah.
people that are really hard in the paint building it came here. And there were,
Oh,
what do
yeah.
you think, maybe 20 people in the room total?
20 or 30, yeah, very like you could
Like,
talk
you
to.
can talk to anybody you want to talk to. No one's too cool. Meet your
Yeah.
heroes. Don't slay them. They're still building stuff. Come on, guys.
And you don't have to be a developer. I'm a developer, but like Matt got a lot of value out of it
I talked
too.
to a lot of people. It was
So.
good fun. And you learn a lot. And the nice part is, it's not like YouTube where you get distracted and you're watching the technical thing and you're clicking elsewhere. Like, you're here
Yeah.
in the room, like, you can actually ask questions. Hey, I didn't get that. Oh,
Well,
okay,
another
explain
cool
it.
topic at litdevs was our very own Topher here.
Oh, Topher.
He did
Topher,
an
get up here,
awesome
buddy.
demo of blood, sweat, and tears. Let's talk about Workbench. You want
Yeah.
to swap?
Do you want to
out?
come up here?
Yeah.
If you want us to talk about it, we'll do it. Doesn't matter.
Sure.
Yeah, man. Oh, I hit the plant. Sorry.
Hey, can you guys say also, I have a question.
Simon.
Ooh, Simon has a question. I just got here, man. I'm new.
Hey, Topher.
Go easy on me.
So, what is litdevs or Lightning devs like meaning? What's going on there? Like, I've never been there. Just curious to know. Like,
Oh, we have the founder of litdevs here, Lisa. You want to come answer it? You didn't even notice Lisa's here. Come
This
on
is gonna
down,
be like
Lisa.
my shortest lived.
Bring the
sit
puppies.
down
So we,
on PBS.
shortest lived invite on PBS. Sorry.
That's
So
fine.
we've
Lisa
got
can kick me
we've
off.
got kind of a circus going on here at Bitcoin Commons. We've got
Yeah, so,
we've got some dogs here.
Anyways, Reg Test Workbench on GitHub. Go check it out. I might actually have a few more minutes to talk about it because Lisa is getting tacos or something. So yeah. So yeah, I presented a project in like 10 minutes
You killed it,
because
man.
the previous one ran a little long.
It's a good presentation.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I glossed over like half the things.
Yeah. So do you want to explain to me, like I'm 5, what Workbench does?
Like you're 5.
All
Okay.
right, 10.
Like you're 10.
Like I'm 10 and I can
know
drive.
10-year-olds are pretty savvy these days.
10-year-olds can drive. If you listen to Tony's podcast, like,
Like to Asher's kids.
To Asher's kids,
The really smart ones, you know.
the
oh
really
yeah, they,
smart ones.
They were doing code at Bitcoin plus plus. Yeah.
Hey, you remember those Rubik's cubes? You got like 8-sided ones and stuff.
Wow.
Really?
He's gonna.
That's pretty cool.
He's breeding little genius children.
He invented his own number-based system. It's like 13 or base 13 or something.
Wow.
Okay, well I'm worried
All right.
about his
explain
little
Workbench.
super evil geniuses that are going to be taking over the world soon.
Explain Workbench to me like I'm 5, Topher.
So like Docker's really annoying because if you want to create a custom environment to develop in,
What is Docker?
Docker is this containerization tool
What is a containerization tool?
A containerization tool.
We're plebbing it down. Come on, pleb it down,
It's
Topher.
this magical place
Pleb it
where you
down.
can like install a bunch of garbage on your computer, and it doesn't really affect
So,
your
so
computer.
to the plebs out there, you probably
It's a
think
safe space.
You probably think developers sit at their terminal and they just hit the keyboard,
Yeah,
and
like keyboard cat.
magic happens.
It does, as long as you have the right keys.
Yeah. So there's a lot of hard shit you got to do to make that magic happen, right?
Yeah, so like some of these projects, you have to install a lot of dependencies, and they just like spew crap all
Yeah.
over your machine. And
So
all
think
sorts
about
of
when you
weird
get
corners that you
think
can't
about when you
find.
get your brand new Windows box to your brand new Mac and nothing's installed on it, and you have to. It takes you a
Ugh.
day to install like 100
It's
programs.
nice and pristine.
Yeah, just so,
I
so
love
the same
that.
things happens to a developer when he starts a new project
All
or
the
he
folders are empty.
inherits somebody else's project. There's a lot of shit you need to install.
I really like get
Right.
off on like when you open the hard drive and
Yeah.
you see just a little sliver
Yeah.
of use space.
So
That's
to-
like my zen.
So Topher essentially built the world of Lightning. You can basically, with one click of a button, you can spin up an entire Lightning world. So you can have Alice over here. You can have Bob. You can have Carol. You
And
can
David,
Visualization of that?
like literally a whole network running within his computer. So
like
he
actual nodes.
So he has a whole Bitcoin
all the
network running
fixings.
on his computer. He has a whole Lightning network running on his computer. He has a whole Bitcoin faucet network running on his computer. He has a whole
Now you're making
What
it
else?
like way over a 10-year-old's head.
yeah. Well, people know what the Bitcoin network like. So basically, one click of a button.
It's like if you had a Raspberry Blitz and you wanted like 10 of them,
Yeah.
and you wanted them to just automatically pretend like they're playing
Essentially,
Bitcoin pretend.
it's Umbrella. It's
transactions
like
and stuff.
Umbrella for like developers, right? So Umbrella, if you don't know how to install everything by yourself, you install Umbrella. You put it in a Raspberry Pi, you get a Lightning node.
I feel like this is getting like way.
You pretty much
way
made
out
that
in the
for
weeds.
developers.
It is an environment to help you build a Docker container that has a full stack of Bitcoin, Lightning, Tor, CL Rest, Sparko, any other fun plugins that you like to play with. It's just an environment. It's an environment. So if you're familiar with Python, Python has virtual environments, and they're meant to keep your computer nice and tidy so that if you have to install a bunch of dependencies and spew a bunch of garbage all over your computer, it's isolated in the environment and it's not all over your machine. So what's difficult with Docker is that if you want to create your own environment, you either have to do it by hand, or you can use the Docker Compose file, which is very limiting. So the idea with Workbench is it's in the middle ground. So it's a lot easier to use than Docker command line, but it gives you a lot more power than just simply using a Docker Compose file. So you can actually build an environment. It's more like building a custom image for installing Linux.
Well, and the coolest thing is when you use Workbench, you can fund your wallet and you can get like all the Bitcoin. So if you want to have 10 million Bitcoin in your reg test, it's called reg test. If you ever hear people use the term reg test or testnet Bitcoin or mainnet Bitcoin, you know, there's a difference between that. Mainnet Bitcoin is what we all use. Testnet Bitcoin is what developers use. It's not real Bitcoin, but it's a network out in the real world. Reg test is what runs within your own computer. So you can basically be the richest guy in the world on your own computer with reg test Bitcoin. So if you ever hear that, that's what it means.
I feel like
Or Signet. There's another one now. There's a lot of networks out there.
Interesting.
so. All
Did you
the
learn something,
nodes-
Simon?
Learning tons right now. I really like
Dude,
it.
I see your brain growing.
Yeah, I feel like we're
Simon
really
just got real
treating the
smart.
PBS audience with kitty gloves.
This is why you turn to litdevs.
litdevs.
I'm gonna come
Yeah.
at least once.
Well, let's have
When is LidDev?
let's have Lisa talk a little bit about the origins of litdevs.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Yeah,
check out Reg Test Workbench on GitHub. It's really cool. It's really easy to use. The README is quite extensive.
And if you're a developer out there who is looking for a new city to live in, come to Austin. There's a lot of projects to build.
Yeah. Yeah. Screw Bitcoin Park over in Tennessee.
Yeah,
Come over here.
we have the river.
Yeah. No, we have the river.
We have the river, whatever it's called.
The Brotilla.
Ladybird Lake.
The Bitcoin Brotilla. All right.
Thanks,
I think
Topher.
that went well.
Yeah, dude. Your project's awesome, though. Seriously.
Yeah, it is. I got PeerSwap working on it too.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Did you get Spicy working on it?
No, we have to do that. Were we supposed to do that today or tomorrow?
Let's do it today. I just got Gossip working, so I think it's ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to go to a dance thing
dance?
after this, so I don't have time.
Oh, that's exciting.
What are you dating a high
But,
schooler?
But on,
Go to a
on
dance.
Sunday. No, we're taking dancing lessons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
It's like a date kind of situation.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I could go with myself, but that'd be kind of lame.
And she's not a high schooler, internet.
Is there a song about dancing with yourself?
There is.
Dude, that's a good
Yeah.
song.
Is it your girlfriend?
Robin, right? Robin with a Y.
Sounds right.
It's the same one that you met.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Have you met her?
No.
I met her, and I'll vouch she is not a high schooler. So,
Are we allowed to get girlfriends in a bear market? That was a bull market thing.
yeah.
Yeah, he has to be a very conservative girlfriend.
So you're not a Bitcoiner because you have a girlfriend. Get out of here. Get out of here, Topher. You're
Yeah,
banned
I'll-
from the show.
I'll go hang out with my girlfriend. You can hang out with the microphone.
What kind of dancing?
See you around.
Question from the audience.
dancing?
She hasn't told me, so it's a bit of a mystery.
Who's a better
Yeah.
dancer? It's even better.
Hopefully, it's something relevant to Texas.
It's gonna be break dancing.
I'm looking forward to
Definitely.
either two-step.
That'd be cool.
Two-step's
That'd be
pretty
cool,
popular-
actually.
Popular around
Do you,
here.
do you know how to dance?
I know how to do stuff, yeah.
Oh.
What do you do after the second step?
You keep the step back.
Start over.
Step forward, I step back.
So is that like binary dancing, like two zeros and ones?
Doesn't everybody from Texas know two-step
One,
dancing?
two, then you go the other direction.
Can
I mean,
someone
I
can
feel
someone
like I
give
could
us a
figure it out.
soil, you just start automatically when
Yeah,
you're
more than two steps.
Well, two steps in one direction.
Oh, there's two of you.
Stages.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so
yeah.
Jennifer, are you a better dancer or is
It's
she?
all repeated patterns, right?
Oh, we're both terrible. We're
Oh.
probably gonna step on each other's feet.
Is this where you're going for classes?
So romantic.
She's not gonna wear, is she wearing heels?
I hope so.
Come on, let's come up
That'll
and
make
talk
things
about
more
two-stepping.
Yeah, I think it's
Wait,
Lisa's turn.
Okay, so we can hang out too. We can like think, oh wait, you gotta go dance lessons though. So you gotta.
Oh, do you actually have to go right now to
In,
dance?
in like 45 minutes.
Oh, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Let's talk
But
about
we
let's
only have two microphones.
let's
so-
change the topic. Let's talk about the origins of lit devs.
Lit devs,
So I think
Yeah, you're out of frame over there.
Oh,
so I think a lot about what Kyle's trying to do with Pleb Lab is build communities, right? So we've got Lisa here from Blockstream.
Hi. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, hi, Lisa.
Hi. I'm so excited. Yeah. Hi.
Machine
Hello.
frame? We're good?
Howdy.
gonna
Howdy.
get really
How's that?
friendly
Is that? Are we good?
One another.
Like Scooch is what it was.
Get cozy.
we
Get
go.
cozy.
Hey.
The
Okay.
dogs in frame?
Yeah.
We've got dogs in the
You guys are
house.
Like, man, we're like getting stage direction, all right, from the plebs. No, I'm kidding. Like, Ginger, come here. Jeez, come.
What are their names?
This
We've
is
got
Ginger.
we've got dogs in the
Ginger.
house.
This
The
is
little
Ginger. Say hi, Ginger. Say
Go on the
hello.
internet.
Do wave. Wave.
Ginger's a cutie. And then there's another dog running around.
Wave.
The more stoic looking one.
That's Saba. She's a little like she's my like derpy wild one who likes chasing balls. Ginger's like the pretty one who gets on camera. Ginger had a cameo this week on Nat Brunel's.
She's famous.
Yeah, what's the show that she runs?
Should we fix the
hard money.
Hard Money? Yeah. So Sid, I think is his last name Myers. Sid went around the
Captain Sid. Captain Sid.
Captain Sid went around America on his motorcycle. It's like pretty. It's like an orangey yellow motorcycle. He's driving around on a Harley, I think. Orange Harley. That makes sense. Yeah. And he came through Houston at one point. The day that we were putting together, we were actually like building. So I run Base 58 with my friend Stack in Houston.
Shout out
Stackamoto.
Stackamoto. We miss
yeah.
you, man. And-
Yeah, Stack's in Houston, I think.
Shout out to his mom.
yeah,
That's
his mom's
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, his mom's really cool.
His mom's good at dancing.
Speaking of
Funny enough.
Yeah.
Stackamoto's mom.
Yeah, so he had got all the stuff we were putting together, these little computer things for the LARP. We were upgrading the LARP with little like computers. And
Oh, explain the LARP to the audience. They might not know what it is.
Yeah, so the LARP is oh hi, yeah. The LARP is
I'll make sure the dog is in frame.
I see, yeah. I think she's got it, yeah. Hi, hello, yeah. The LARP is a live action role play of like Bitcoin. It's Bitcoin nodes. So it's actually like a Bitcoin node network. So you get like people on teams, you get like 5 or 6 people on a team, and then each team gets like a download of Bitcoin Core. Like you get all the stuff that you get in Bitcoin Core. And then you tell everyone kind of what the programming instructions are. So they've got all these things, and then they have like the little routines they're supposed to run as a team of people. And then we like slowly go through like building transactions. So each team will like write a transaction, and then we try to like do the networking where we send the transaction around to all the different nodes. So like all the nodes
With string.
Yeah, exactly. You got your connection
It's really
strings.
fun.
Yeah. Oh, you played.
I was there, yeah. I
Were
was
you
there.
at the LARP at which one?
Bitcoin
did you
plus
do?
plus, yeah.
Bitcoin plus plus.
We
yeah.
had a lot of like double spend / invalid transactions. Yeah, we're definitely a node with a bug. Like, yeah, we
Oh yeah.
our node sucked.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. Yeah. You just like fall out of consensus or whatever.
We just it
basically.
didn't work. Like
Okay.
literally, like we installed Bitcoin D on our table and it just broke, and the blockchain didn't synchronize.
You didn't delete it and start over from scratch, like re-download. You
No.
know? Okay. I
Yeah,
see,
our table I didn't pay attention that good. Like I was confused.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot going on, right?
So how was it like to act everything out?
I mean, I don't. What is that? What do you mean? What do you mean? How is it? What is it like?
Did everybody feel like they were getting along and that it made more sense to kind of
I
see
think
all of that happening in person?
I think some people, most people like tend to walk away with it, learning a lot. Like, so the first one I ever did was last summer, almost a year ago now. Are we in July? We're in July. So about a year ago in New York, I did a couple, just as like a startup, and it was real different. We didn't have any nice printout. It was all paper and pen and like lots of writing. Like this has some writing, that had like a lot more writing. I did one with this like person her name's Summer. She was in high school at the time. And we did a LARP then, and like now she's like running Generation Bitcoin. And I met her at Miami in April, and she's telling me like, like I didn't fully understand what was going on when we were doing it, but now as I learn more about Bitcoin, I'm like, oh, that was like the thing. She can like think back to the thing that we did in the game and like put them all together. I was like, oh,
Well, that's
okay.
cool. Like the idea you had connecting the nodes on the network with strings. Like literally have it. Like where did that come from? Was that just like
I don't know. I
you
don't-
made this up, right? From
Yeah,
scratch.
yeah.
Like you just
I made
totally
the whole thing up. Yeah.
one night you're just like LARP Bitcoin.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, yeah, it was like it kind of came out of like a friend of mine got me into these like things called Myers-Briggs personality types. I don't know how much time you guys have for a story, but
Yeah,
like
let's hear it.
Okay.
That's what this podcast is about.
Is that the INTFJ?
Yeah, it's that thing. It's that whole thing. So a friend of mine, I like was really kind of just like skeptical about the whole thing.
What are you?
I'm an INTP.
What does that mean?
Introverted, intuitive thinking perceptron.
Okay.
Nice.
What are you, Topher?
I think I'm INTJ.
That's a Jordan Peterson thing.
My name is Matt. I'm
I don't think
ENTJ.
so.
E is for extroverted.
Yeah.
Nice. Thought E was for exquisite.
Yeah, that checks out. Yeah. So
Is that the Jordan Peterson test?
I don't know. I don't take in that one.
The J on the end doesn't stand for Jordan Peterson.
I took like a corporate version of that, and I was basically like,
Super Testnet. I'm an MSNBC.
Okay.
I'm a CNN. No, just
Which
joking.
means it's not to be trusted.
He's an FED. He's a Fed.
That's going in my report.
Oh wow. Yeah. I hear they do that. What do
We
you do
actually-
after you write up the report?
We don't know your real name, so I think he
Okay.
is a Fed.
He could be.
No, you're too good at Bitcoin. You're not.
If I wasn't fit, I'd have to tell you. I am.
Is there like rules of engagement? Is that like the rule of engagement? There's like this rule of engagement about being a Fed that like you have to. I don't. That
Like you
doesn't
have
seem-
to say I'm a
Yeah,
Fed.
I don't think. Well, if someone's like, "Are you a Fed?" You have to like tell them the truth.
Sounds like a
But-
folk tale.
Yeah, it really feels like a
If
folk
you
tale,
ask the
right?
devil, he has to confess.
So is zero fee routing a Fed?
Oh, this is a good question.
you out
We
there?
should come back to that. Yeah. Anyway, so the LARP thing, like a friend got me during pandemic. My pandemic pill was like getting into Myers-Briggs personality types. I was just like, I don't know. There's,
Most
like-
people just drank more.
I know. Yeah, I quit drinking and got into personalities. It's cool. Yeah. So one thing about personalities is like there's definitely like so N's intuitives like one of the ways. So it's like every letter there's like an opposite. It's like a scale, and you can be really high or really low on like one or the other, kind of like sliding scale thing. So I'm really high on the N side, and that kind of means that you like are really good in thinking in patterns and like frameworks. So like I will like spend a lot of time trying to explain things by like drawing out patterns and things. A lot of people who write programming, a lot of programming is making patterns and stuff. So most programmers tend to be more N than S.
We're all on the same spectrum.
Yeah, your brain has to be able to like do that thing.
We're probably
to
similar here,
fix-
like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the autism spectrum. Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, there's, lots of spectrum.
Rain Man, and then Super Testing is way over there.
Yeah, but imagine if you're not as good at understanding. Like, so Bitcoin is like all in code, right? Like, there's a lot of stuff going on, but it's all in code. And if you can't really like imagine, if you don't really have that like ability to like imagine what these things are and these structures look like in your head, it's like really hard to understand what people are talking about, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, how do I make it physical? Like, there's people that learn through physical systems, right? By like participating in a system.
Yeah, you need to visualize it.
You don't have to visualize it, you can see it,
In
right?
real life, touch
Yeah,
it. You need to
touch
touch it,
yeah, and you can see it, and you write it down, and there's like there's a kinetic, as they call it, like physical element of like, I am writing a physical transaction. I am putting my sticker to sign the transaction. I am checking that the signatures match, like physically, right? In
Well,
your
the funny
face, you
thing
can see
about
it.
my table, we basically
Yeah.
sent out a transaction. So that basically means you take the string, and like I'm connected to like Dusty. Let's say he's a different node.
Yeah.
And then your transaction is a piece of paper with a ring on it, and you send it down the string. But what we did, we forgot to save it to like our own database. So we basically sent out a transaction, like, and we didn't know.
You didn't
No
make a
one knows
copy.
we didn't make a copy of it.
Remember that.
So like our database was down.
Well then you just have to
So,
request it back, but you
we
didn't
screwed
remember
up.
what the name of it was, right? So you couldn't like tell them what to send
Yeah.
you a copy back, right? So like, yeah.
We missed that.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
but like the cool thing is this is all work that you can either do in, so like the weird thing about like kind of the history of computers, right, is a lot of what computers do is stuff that like humans can also do. Computers do it like better and faster and cheaper.
Yeah.
And like less time of the human, right?
Well, that's how I always explained like the Lightning Network's just 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about
That's
you guys. I
the
solve
best.
my blocks by hand.
Yeah. Well, only you, Topher.
It's only on the weekends.
The autism scale.
Yeah. Do you don't have any tools that help? Is it pen and paper? Like,
Just pen and paper.
okay.
I mean, you're just
Yeah.
repeatedly guessing over and
What's
over
your
again.
get block template like? Like, how does that? Do you guys know what that is? Am I
Get
like,
block template?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's just the.
This is a pleb crowd, so pleb it down. Pleb it down.
Yeah.
I'm
pleb it
still
down.
on. I'm still on like block number 3.
Oh, okay. I see. You're
So
building
you're
your
all
own
way ahead of
chain.
me.
I see. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You probably fell behind on validating too, huh? Okay. Yeah. That's rough. That's rough. No, the get block template is like when you're building a block, like you gotta get.
The
you gotta-
headers, the previous block.
What are all the
information.
transactions that you're
Yeah.
gonna put in it? What's a Merkle root? I think that calculates it for you. I've never actually done this. You might know since you've done some of it. Sounds.
That it calculates it for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh no,
I don't know.
Bitcoin Core is amazing. It does all that stuff for you. You
Yeah.
just request it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And then you get the paper out. When does the paper come into play? Like.
Oh no, I just don't do any of it. I just literally like look up. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah. Right.
It would be very laborious. But like the actual proof of work is pretty simple because you're just taking all the elements of the block header and then the transactions, and yes, you have to calculate the Merkle root, and then you have to put all that together, and then you have to calculate the SHA-256 hash.
Yeah, but it's just a SHA hash.
Simon, do those
Yeah.
words make sense to you?
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Simon was on his phone, like texting. He's just like. All right, I gotta.
It would be absolutely impossible
attention.
to do it by hand.
I should.
Just the SHA hashing portion.
Just the SHA alone.
The block
Yeah.
list where he did it all by hand, like mine in the block. I think he just shot it
SHA block.
He did a shot
Shot of black.
by hand. It's like you have to do hundreds of thousands of those to add to mine. Even
Yeah.
the first block.
His rate must have been
You come
like,
back?
one
Okay.
block for like 10 days or something in case he was going.
There's actually a really cool website. I forget the name of it. I think it's SHA-256 something.com or something based on SHA-256. I think it's really easy to Google. But somebody actually wrote a visualization tool that shows you like what SHA-256 does underneath the hood, the way it's like folding data onto itself repeatedly.
Oh, that's cool.
It's so way over my head. Even when you're looking at it, it looks like magic. And
It is-
just to be able to do that by hand would be.
Math is magic. It's witchcraft.
Wait, so are we doing this like next weekend? I'm gonna come back to Austin. We're gonna like get some paper and like do like we can
Do a LARP?
we can divide it up. Yeah, we'll do a shawl LARP. And, like everyone
Okay.
can have their
I
little
mean,
like corner that they
We've
have to
got this
calculate
nice,
or
beautiful
whatever,
building
like,
here.
It sounds like a
pipeline it,
challenge.
right?
For real,
Yeah.
I would love to be part of a team that calculates one block by hand, not at current difficulty epic, but like just to say like, hey, I did that one time. And
Oh, like,
you know,
verify
it was
a block?
So much effort.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. That could be
I
fun.
feel like we can get Logan to like videotape it and turn it into like
I
a
wanted like a 5-day time
cool like do you do video editing and stuff too? Oh, we should like do a thing and like for the plebs though. We should do a thing, a special.
I
We
didn't
should
figure
make
out
a
what math
special.
on this.
You guys can just use this guy's algorithm.
Okay. All right.
He was like, you know,
Okay.
every 2 days or so.
Oh, okay. 0.67 hashes per day. Well, if we get enough plebs together, surely we
That's-
can beat that. This is the number to beat? Yeah. Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It's the pencil pool. Divide it up into like.
It's the pencil pool.
Is
Are
this-
we mining or are we validating? I feel like we should. Yeah, that's good.
So this
that's
is
good,
like
that's good.
like Ken Jennings trying to beat like an AI. It's like a human trying to mine faster than an ASIC miner. I don't
Man,
know.
yeah, computers are really good at something.
Yeah.
Like computing numbers.
We'll never beat the computer at mining.
But we will be at being mobile. We can walk around.
So
I don't
saw-
know, man.
I saw in your show notes you had a mention of the Fed talking about Bitcoin.
Lightning. They
Oh,
came out-
somebody-
Cleveland
Did
Fed.
you read that? Yeah, come up here, Matt.
Cleveland Fed did a paper, right? Is that the one?
Yeah, Cleveland Fed released a paper, and the title of that paper, I believe, is "The Lightning Network is Turning Bitcoin into Money."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What a cool paper that they wrote. So they said, hey, Bitcoin does things every 10 minutes. But if you want to go real fast, hyperspeed, use the Lightning Network. And so they documented what it was, how it worked, and I think there were a couple use cases in there for like, hey, you can now do micropayments. Before you could, but they kind of got like priced out a lot of the time. Now in this point-to-point network, so what's really nice is they understood the difference between gossip and direct communication, which I think is just an invaluable thing that they're helping other people understand.
Yeah.
Hey, the Bitcoin blockchain is not like Netflix. Everyone watches the same movie and we get 1 megabyte of data every 10 minutes. We have to watch the same movie. That's how it works.
Except when you really need a block, then it takes like half an
Yeah, it's
hour.
always half hour. Hey, I'll just
Like
wait for
watching
the just.
paint dry.
Yeah, fair. But they did a really good job extrapolating what it was and why it was so valuable. I wish they would have gone more hard in the paint talking about how shitcoins don't matter, but they didn't do that. They just said, here's what it is, here's what it's doing. We'll get there.
I'm just happy for the name recognition. Like, what do you think? Did you get a chance to read?
I
the thing
did
you
read
said?
it. Yeah. What's up, Simon?
Yes.
Did they realize they were like this thing would obsolete them, like, or not yet?
Oh, no. We're always 2 weeks trademark away from that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it seemed like an optimistic paper.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I think my takeaway from it was they were like, "This solves the scaling problem of Bitcoin." Was like the
Yeah.
conclusion.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay."
That's a pretty bullish
Yeah,
statement.
they didn't come
Thanks,
out.
Fed,
and,
yeah.
They didn't come out. They didn't come out and say that the energy cost per transaction was going down, which I thought would have been a lovely conclusion piece to include. Because right now there's a lot of fun for like, oh man, it uses so much energy per transaction.
Yeah, I've
I
seen
mean,
that.
yes and no, because my coins that aren't moving are still secured by that. So whatever, why not?
Yeah, they're not related at all. I've definitely gotten into like Twitter arguments with like people who like, there's like people who like claim like they do the whole I'm a technologist, therefore my opinion on this weighs a lot.
Yeah.
And then I got into like a fight with someone who was like a very smart human, I assume, but just like could not get that like the amount of the number of transactions and the amount of energy the network used were like disparate things. Like,
Yep.
they're not related at all. Like zero relation at all. And that was just a really, really like I think something about that like really like I don't know hard for them. Reason they don't think some reason that this can't be true for them, right? Like what is
Yeah.
that? Like why is it not okay if that's like how it works? Like why is it okay that their understanding of reality is wrong?
It's a touchy subject.
Yeah, but why? Like, and I
Money?
think it's because
Politics.
yeah, but why? Like, you know, like it's like, okay, that's fine, but that's all separate from the fact that you're wrong about the technicals and you're a technical person. Like, why are you so resistant to understanding how it works technically?
Do you guys remember this old-timey article, why the yuppie intellectual elite will be last to get Bitcoin or always dismiss Bitcoin? I'm blanking on the title, but
That's
the
'cause they're
yuppie intellectual
Yankees.
elite.
No, sorry.
Right. Yeah, it's because like the circles they run in said, oh, Bitcoin is bad, and they have to stay within that circle because the moment they, you know, exercise some intellectual fortitude or testiculars, right? Like, oh, hey, I'm gonna go think a dangerous thought. Oh man, my friends are gonna cancel me. Yo, they're just thoughts. But like, because that class of person is gonna say, hey, my friends think this way, they're all smart folks, I have to go with the same line of thinking. I can't stand out in that herd.
That was Process. You guys know Process on Twitter?
I do. I do.
He wrote something about that.
Yeah, like that's his article. I'm thinking of like the title of like why the yuppie intellectual elite
That's it.
dismiss Bitcoin.
It was a
I
very
think it's
good
dismiss.
article.
Yeah, highly recommend like required reading. If you don't want to read, Guy Swan's got you. Just go find it.
If you live in California and you think that Bitcoin is cool, you're gonna keep that with social groups, you know? Like,
Oh, hello, my name is Matt.
girlfriends,
Agreed.
You know, if you want to like do anything in life socially, it's rational to not like Bitcoin, even if you do have an irrational process to get there.
Correct.
I mean, there's definitely people in SF that like Bitcoin.
Secretly though.
Is that what's going on there?
I
Okay.
doubt they're telling everybody else around them.
Yeah, that's
Probably
yeah.
now, no.
Is
But
there
like
really
there used to
closeted
be.
Bitcoiners in California?
All the Bitcoiners.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, all the
Been for
Bitcoiners I knew in
years.
California left.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Because when I started working at
I knew
Blockstream, there were a bunch
California
of
was
us, and then we
pretty
don't
crazy,
live,
but
I
I
think there's
didn't know it
one
was
that
that
still lives
crazy.
there.
Think about that idea. I'm everyone's worst nightmare.
It's
I'm
a tech
burning,
capital. Why
I'm
would you be
burning
afraid of
energy. I'm
technology?
boiling the oceans.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
California
really?
has
That
a
narrative
really-
is that strong?
Oh my god, I drive a Prius. What are you talking about, man? Like, come on, is it that strong? Of course it's that strong.
I don't know. California has
I
such
don't
a
know. I lived
weird
in LA.
understanding of environmentalism, though. As a Texan, like it was really strange to like move there. Like as a in Texas, you have an understanding of what it means to be environmentalist as a Californian, like right? Because like you know we're Texans, we like use styrofoam and like drive like big cars and like you know
Have plastic straws.
yeah, we have plastic
Lucky.
straws still, and like, and not even that, but like, you know, I grew up in like refinery towns. You have like flares that are like burning off like the carbon, whatever. Like,
We have plastic
people-
silverware.
from wherever. Yeah,
And it's orange.
yeah, and so like you kind of
Very
just
bullish.
assume that like you know California is like they don't drive cars there, they all ride bikes, and like they do this thing where they like do environmental review of their housing, so they're not killing the fishes in like the little stream.
One of my
Texas,
very good
like-
friends, her actual
Yeah.
day job is a environmental conservationist, and her job is to supervise construction sites and tell them when they can and can't drive tractors to level dirt for pipelines and electric lines coming from Vegas out to California because of desert tortoises.
Yeah, right. That's what I was. That's
Do you know
what
how
I
much
would
desert is
Desert
between
tortoises.
here and there? So much.
They're
They're making
endangered.
a 5-foot wide line.
Why don't you think
to
of
go
the
put a
turtles,
pipeline in.
Simon?
Yeah, but this
Desert
is what I would
turtles.
assumed I would like
Real
run
thing.
into.
So here's why you have to
Not
have an
for long.
environmental protection person there. Because if you scare them, they pee their pants, then they dehydrate and die.
Oh no. poor
So you
babies.
solve that problem by putting them in a bucket of water. They're real simple to save. Now you know. Today I
Huh.
learned.
Wow, that's cool. Okay.
But like that, the real like that's her actual profession.
Yeah, but no, but then when I like.
But it's that type
yeah.
of like climate idea that like, oh no, we have hundreds of thousands of acres of desert, but this 5-foot swath is the most important keystone part of the desert. No. There's so much desert out there. Like guys, this is a de minimis percentage of it if we add one network for electric lines.
I see. I understand.
But I
yeah.
feel like they're latching on to something. It's not really about the environment.
Yeah, it's not about whatever sandfly that's out in the middle of the desert that bites people that they don't like anyway. It's not about a tortoise. It's about like, hey, there's rules and restrictions.
Yeah, because when they banned plastic straws in California,
It was off
restaurants
like a very
just came out
broken-
with paper straws and plastic packaging.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was off
that's
like a
true.
super broken study that like an 11th grader started.
Yeah, they also banned plastic bags, and that didn't work out very well.
I have this friend. His family is actually immigrants from Russia, from the communist era, from it. And his family tells this story where they were, their country was so poor that they had to bring their own bags to the grocery store. And then they came to the United States and everyone gave you a bag. And now it's going right back to that in California. And his parents told me that story, and I was like, whoa, this is different.
Yeah, it's a bit different.
So that's everywhere in California. No, one store in Texas, all stores in California.
We could do a whole podcast on how wacky California is.
It's something.
Yeah.
Good place to be from.
California, Texas.
But yeah, the
Sure.
Fed's talking about
I see
Bitcoin.
Texas, Nick.
Which is pretty bullish.
Yeah.
I see
Okay,
Texas
to-
here, Texas there,
to
Texas
bring
everywhere.
to bring it all back, like it's really
Fine,
nice that the
the-
Fed is actually doing due diligence on Bitcoin, and what they're finding is not colored through Fed glasses. Like I thought it was a very honest approach to what the Lightning Network did.
Lightning Network, yeah, I thought it was a really
Yeah.
good paper. Like I thought it wasn't like it felt more like survey, like it was just like here's the current research and state of whatever and explaining. So it was like an explainer paper.
Yeah.
It wasn't like research paper,
But
but
wasn't it like from 2020? So it isn't even up to
oh,
date.
was it really?
Yeah, I don't think their statistics were up to date.
Oh, there's statistics. I thought, yeah, you're right. Went back. The paper came out recently, but the only data they had, I thought, was as recent as of 2020, right?
Yeah.
Was the thing.
But
Yeah.
the network has like grown a lot. in the
Yeah,
past 2 years.
yeah. I thought it was interesting. Yeah, I was curious about where they had gotten their data from, right? Because it's like, why is it 2 years old,
Yeah.
year and a half old?
Speed of the government.
Yeah.
Which Fed branch did that study?
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
Good for Ohio, hey.
Cleveland rocks.
This is part of that Ohio like campaign
have
to
party.
be more tech. I don't know. Sorry.
Uh,
Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Simon has a question.
I know.
I have a. So, I think someone tweeted like that Lightning could, at its full potential, do like 40 million transactions.
Infinite.
It's more than that. I don't think there is. I think the upper bound is like hard to know.
It's like 50, right now it's like 15 transactions per second per node.
Mm.
And so it's linear scaling, so the more nodes you add, each one adds an additional 15 transactions per second.
Okay.
So there's no real upper bound. If you had 1 million nodes on there, you'd be at 15 million PBS.
Yeah, what would be like the hard limit? Like what's currently limiting the Lightning Network now? Let's say that
Don't
all
get
of
your
a sudden
goal, but it sounds funny.
I would
millions of
ass-
people adopt it tomorrow.
So my
what
like,
would be the bottleneck?
I mean like so like it depends. My like favorite thing to be like is well, there's only 20 million Bitcoin, so like how many of those Bitcoin are locked into the Lightning Network, and how much of that but how much of that is like pointing in the right direction for the payment you want to make at the time you want a payment,
Yeah.
right? And so like at some level like that becomes I think the liquidity becomes a limiting. Whoa, there's like hands in the
It's getting
audience. What's
exciting.
going on? Okay.
Send it. Yeah, yeah.
I have a question.
What's
Get
your
it.
yeah?
Okay, so there was some tweet this week that Euro whatever.
Oh yeah, it's now worth the
contemplating
same
on
as the
banning
dollar.
Bitcoin.
Or
Europe
less.
was contemplating on banning Bitcoin.
Russia banned Bitcoin today, right?
What?
Russia banned Bitcoin today.
Yeah, they did ban Bitcoin payments. True.
Ooh.
Oh, the payments. Okay.
Damn, I
But
was just
Euros-
about to
You can
send a
hold it, but you
Bitcoin
can't
payment to
pay
Russia
something
too.
with it.
That's part of Europe.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's part of it. But the Eurozone, let's say. So I would like the experts' opinion on the potential. Good luck.
Yeah, I got.
That Europe may be banning Bitcoin.
banning Bitcoin. So different than what Russia did.
Yeah, like Euro, like just banning Bitcoin.
No Bitcoin.
No Bitcoin.
What happens if you own Bitcoin?
I think well, you have to I don't know, give it to the government or.
Oh, okay. So
I don't know. But like the news is just banning Bitcoin. I don't know the implications of that.
yeah. I think it's kind of funny to be like Bitcoin's banned. Please give it to me. Like, you know.
We'll hold it for you.
I guess that's what they would do, right?
Yeah.
Just seizing gold, like back in the day, the equivalency.
There's like a great, I don't know, there's like this super old thing about like panics and stuff in like Europe. I
Okay.
forget the name of the book, but they
Let's
talk
talk
about like,
just one thing. I think
Yeah.
that would be like they would just ban exchanges.
I see,
And
okay.
ban on ramp and off ramps
Mm.
and ban mining. I think that's what they would do if they would do it.
They would ban banks.
Huh?
They would ban banks from providing liquidity to exchanges for providing on ramps and off ramps.
Well, that's the general idea.
So what I'm hearing is Europe is going to have the first truly circular economy in Bitcoin because they won't be able to on-ramp, off-ramp. You'll just have to actually start.
no energy either, so
Awesome.
no
Yeah,
mining.
make
gonna
goods
happen
and services, but don't bake bread because you can't heat your oven. Don't make wheat bread because like you can't. Yeah, I know.
Well, hasn't
I know.
China banned Bitcoin like 6 times?
Have they?
Yeah, this I think
16, I think.
16 now?
the easiest
lose
way I
count.
think about this is like people break laws all the time. Like who knows how many laws are out there? I haven't read them all, so like I'm sure I'm like falling afoul of some. But like people speed on the freeway and it's pretty common. So like break the laws you're comfortable breaking. but know why you're breaking them. Now, I get it's like a more of a revolutionary mindset, but like, oh no, Bitcoin's illegal. Okay, well, if I already own some, I just won't use it. But if I leave the country and it's no longer illegal, oh, whose jurisdiction do I fall under? It gets really wishy-washy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like also like, oh, okay, like 1, figure out that I have it. Okay, cool. 2, figure out how to take it. Good luck with that. Yeah, maybe I'll rot in jail for the rest of my life, but my family will have the wealth.
Die on this hill.
Yeah.
I've noticed the more that countries politically push back on Bitcoin, like the more energized developers get, or the developer community gets.
In that jurisdiction, so to
No,
speak,
just to
or-
work on like privacy issues
I
within
see,
Bitcoin
yeah.
and Lightning.
Actually, this was some super cool stuff that came out of 2 hackathons ago. What was your project 2 hackathons ago? You made Whispers.
Whisper
So like,
addresses, yeah.
because the Canadian truckers, honks, Super and his team built a new way to generate new addresses for all of the receives, so you can't ban a Bitcoin address. So the more regulation that shows up, we are going to out-innovate them because it's technology and we don't move at the speed of government. You know, the paper's got data from 2 years ago in the Lightning Network. Hey man, like, you tell us how you're going to go implement some form or law and we'll just go around you.
Let's fucking go!
To the revolution.
I'm bullish!
Hi.
We got Simon back on the bull train again. I'm happy.
Stop it. Come
What else? Okay, we have 5 more minutes on the stream. What do you guys want to talk about?
Super had a question.
Yes.
No, I was just raising my hand to point to him.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Super. I
Teamwork.
have a question.
Yes.
What's your next question? Shit.
That's not a question, that's an exclamation.
Okay, what's to the experts on the panel, what's the top news in Bitcoin this week?
Oh, wow.
Russia bans Bitcoin.
I actually thought the Russia banning Bitcoin was big. Yeah. I don't know.
I totally missed that one.
I thought that was.
What's the second news?
I really thought it was
You
Nick
got
Carter's
something
hair
else?
color change.
Did he change?
It's like the tabloids. It's like the Bitcoin tabloids.
All right, maybe I'll follow Bitcoin Becca a
Wait,
little
did he
too
really
closely.
like color his hair? Is this
No
what we're
idea.
gonna talk about for 5 minutes? Okay, yeah. Cool.
I would say it was.
Hey, read his articles. Don't make fun of his hair color. That's not nice.
I would say it's Bitcoin Park in Nashville.
Oh,
Yeah, it's up, it works.
we'd like to hear about
Yeah,
that.
that's,
There's a
that's
second
going
Citadel.
on right now.
Was this the launch party? Is that what's going on? Is that why all
believe so.
the normal hosts are hosting elsewhere? I see. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a whole party going on.
What does
over
it
there.
mean
We
to have a
weren't invited.
Bitcoin park? Like, is the park made out of Bitcoin? Are there miners there doing like hand hashing at the park? Like,
I haven't been, but I heard they
know.
bought a sports stadium.
Is there like a Bitcoin roller coaster?
Oh my gosh, the front
Very
seat
cool.
has to be
Yeah,
safe
it
for
was
this
like-
guy.
Do you only go up?
I wanna end
Topher
it on
asked
that
if
note.
there was like a roller coaster that only went up at the Bitcoin,
Bitcoin
park.
Park.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's very hard to get off though.
It's really hard to get off.
Yeah, it's a one-way ride, really. You know.
Get on and hold.
You don't get a ticket, you get a tattoo.
Yeah, is there a tattoo parlor at the park? We got a lot of questions. Sounds like we'll have to go check it out at some point. So where
Field
is
trip.
it? Field
It's in
trip
Nashville.
to Nashville, Tennessee.
How far is it by car? Can you drive there?
12 hours.
Oh, that's a lot.
I've done it, you can do it.
I can do it.
Does 12 hours count as a full day's drive?
No, that's like
24
24
hours.
and a half.
24.
24, 8 hours.
Absolutely.
Okay.
12 hours is a long way to go with this.
Yeah.
12 hours is
yeah,
long,
I mean,
yeah.
if
I've
you're
got
really
like 6 or
motivated, you can
7.
do it.
I don't know. I once heard
a lot of Red
Nashville.
Bulls.
I've heard the fact that Nashville is like and maybe 8 hours drive from 50% of the American population. So they're definitely well centrally located. If you get enough people driving there at the same time, we'll get to the park at the same time. We could get half of America there in 8 hours. I think
Oh,
is
man.
the takeaway here. Yeah.
This sounds
Yeah,
like
there's
an
gonna be
ex-KCD
a
question.
super large tailgate party at the Bitcoin Park.
What happens if we all just go to Nashville at once?
Ooh. You
You all
know,
go to Nashville and everyone jumps.
you know,
Yeah.
one time in the
Bitcoin goes up
actual Earth's
higher.
history,
No. Like, sorry.
when we had satellites in space, there was an earthquake, and it moved a mountain, and the Earth actually spins faster because of that.
Oh, that's
We were all alive.
cool.
This really happened.
Wow.
Tectonics is fun.
Wow.
So, like, if you get enough people in one place and jump, you can actually move the orbit of the planet. I don't know if jumping will do it, because you need a lot of people and a lot of mass, but, you know.
meetup up.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. It's been an absolute blast.
Yeah.
Be well. Good night. Oh, yeah. Stack your sats. Stay humble.